Welcome back to Sissy Maya. Here, we embrace true femininity. Make sure to subscribe to our channel to never miss an update.
It was a crisp spring morning when Mrs. Johnson announced to her sons, Michael and James, that they would be participating in a surprise cross-dressing makeover challenge. She explained that she would be the one judging them based on their body hair, appearance, clothing, mannerisms, and overall femininity. The boys were both intrigued and slightly nervous about the prospect of this challenge. Michael, the older of the two brothers, had always been more outgoing and confident, while James was more reserved and introspective. Mrs. Johnson hoped that this challenge would help them both grow as individuals and bring them closer together as brothers. Mrs. Johnson led them to their bedrooms, where she had already laid out an assortment of clothing, makeup, and accessories for each of them to choose from. She gave them both a brief rundown of the rules and then left them to get started. As they began to explore the items provided, they couldn't help but feel a mixture of excitement and apprehension. Michael chose a soft pink dress with lace detailing, along with a pair of delicate heels and a light pink cardigan. He then proceeded to experiment with different shades of lipstick and blush, trying to find the perfect look for his feminine alter ego. James, on the other hand, selected a pale blue dress with a flared skirt and a matching headband. He took a more conservative approach with his makeup, opting for subtle eyeshadow and lip gloss. They were then asked to do a ramp walk and walk in a feminine manner. Michael strutted down the makeshift runway, his hips swaying effortlessly, while he held his head high and smiled demurely. His dress flowed behind him, revealing a well-groomed pair of legs. The brothers exchanged glances, feeling a newfound respect for each other's efforts. James followed suit, slowly and tentatively at first. He had never worn heels before, and the sensation of walking on his tiptoes was unnerving. But as he grew more confident, he began to relax into the role. His steps became more graceful, and he managed to hold his head high without wobbling. Mrs. Johnson took her seat at the end of the runway, her gaze fixed on her sons. She studied their appearance, taking note of every detail. Michael's hair was brushed and styled, his makeup flawless. James' hair was neatly tucked behind his ears, and while his makeup wasn't as polished as his brother's, it still looked presentable. Finally, it was time for the final judgment. Mrs. Johnson took a deep breath and began to assess her sons. She thought about how far they had both come since the beginning of the challenge. She admired their courage and their willingness to step out of their comfort zones. And while both boys had done an admirable job, there could only be one winner. With a smile on her face, she announced, "James, you have shown tremendous growth throughout this challenge. Your confidence has grown immensely, and you've done an excellent job of embracing your feminine side. You are the winner of the surprise cross-dressing makeover challenge." Michael clapped enthusiastically for his younger brother, feeling a newfound sense of pride and affection for him. They both turned to their mother, who had a proud smile on her face. She hugged them both tightly, telling them how much she loved them and how proud she was of them. The surprise cross-dressing makeover challenge had brought the Johnson family closer together, and they all looked forward to many more bonding experiences in the future.